Good morning. Welcome back to Applied Insights. I'm host Raju Mandhyan. We are doing improv. We don't talk about improv, right?
We're doing it.
We are doing improv, and we just finished digesting an apple, a golden apple, and so we are back with Paul and Jeff. So now, Paul, if Jeff, if you were to do this show, if you were to do the show, not talk the show, what would you do?
Well, one of the things I like about improv is that it's all about telling a story.
Okay.
You know? So, for example, if Paul and I, so one exercise, we have to trust each other in this exercise. We'll tell you a story one word at a time. And could we get the title of a story that doesn't exist that you would like to see?
Oh, you want me to give you the title?
So that we guarantee the spontaneity.
Exactly, because we want things...
We've not heard this before.
We want to come in from the audience.
Okay. Yeah. So I give you any word?
Anything.
Sure.
Anything, so thus you can start from anywhere.
You can make up the title. Yeah, you just make the title of the story, and then we'll tell the story.
How about enthusiasm gets you the future?
Enthusiasm gets you the future.
Gets you the future.
Gets you the future. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Once
I
went
for
a
ride
into
the
town
of
Manila.
It
Was
busy.
I
Was
looking
for
my
next
adventure.
I
Decided
to
go
into
the
nearest.
woods.
They
Were
dark.
they
Were
scary?
they
Were
nice.
then
My
heart
was
flying
with
enthusiasm.
I
Saw
a
old
man
in
front
of
me.
He
Gave
me
words
of
wisdom.
he
Said
if
you
want
adventure
you
must
look
for
it
in
the
woods.
I
Acknowledged
his
wisdom
and
lived
happily
ever.
after.
Holy Moses! Holy Moses! Flawless!
See, I'm wondering who that man was and what his name was. We've created this world.
Yeah.
You know,
Holy Moses! Could we do a retake of that one?
a retake.
No idea what happened.
Yeah,
It's gone.
it's something.
It's all disposable.
It's very ephemeral.
Oh,
you know,
my.
like,
It's off the moment, and then you
Come on.
let it go.
a performance that you see once that will never exist before and never existed.
So
will never
this
exist
was
after
a 60-second or maybe 90-second story.
Yes.
Yeah.
and we've never worked together.
No, we met
You
yesterday.
have you have no you don't drive. You've never had you don't know if you have wives.
We know nothing about each other apart from a short conversation
exactly.
yesterday.
Yeah.
We could tell another story.
Wait, I don't know if this was
could tell it,
captured well enough. I'm sure it was, because I was flabbergasted. I mean, I was looking for somebody to stumble, fall, go, No, there was none. Well, I don't know if it was captured well. So let's do one more, maybe something else.
The same one. Or do you want to see a different?
We could do a
type?
different sort of story.
Would you like to see us like a scene, or
Maybe a mystery, I don't know, adventure, start anywhere, take me anywhere, I don't know. Show me
how
something
about some
that
action?
I
You
can
wanna do
use for business.
Sure.
okay? So
Yeah.
we would if we could stand for this one, if that's okay.
Noli, can we stand? Yeah, can we
Yeah.
stand? Okay, good.
So
Do you want me to stand too?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You'll be our audience, and
Okay.
and so this game is called New Choice.
New choice.
New Choice, yeah. And
New choice.
So
Okay.
it's a very classic improv game, and so we'll do a scene, and we'll be actually characters in the scene, and every time you clap, that means
Me?
yes, you will decide.
As audience, I clap.
You clap once, and we have to change what we just said. So, for example, let's practice this. Like, so this morning I ate eggs for breakfast. This morning
Just one
I
clap?
ate apples for breakfast. This morning I ate pancakes for breakfast.
Wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, so every time you change.
Yeah.
Every time you clap, we change what we just said.
Oh, you change the
Immediately.
direction.
Yeah,
The
immediately.
route the story is taking, or
Yes.
the build-up is taking.
Yeah.
Thus, you're adapting to change.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, can we pause for a minute? I want to
Sure.
ask something here. So, Paul, the little story telling that you did, enthusiasm gets you the future.
Yes.
No? And we had an old man in that. No? The learnings from that for business applications, because you're the applied
Yes.
improv guru, no? AIG guru. So what do I do with this in real life, in the work-life situation? Where can I use this? I mean, what are the things I can use from here?
Well, I expect there are many circumstances in any business where people need to respond and adapt to change.
Yeah.
And so in an activity like that, you have a practice of building that skill of adapting. Because I had something in my mind of where the story would go, but the word I heard didn't fit my plan.
Right.
So I had to adjust. And as you said, we did it very quickly.
Right.
We
So
were adjusting all the time.
Agile, agility.
Agility.
Agility,
Yes.
speed, and trust.
Yeah.
Adaptability, yeah.
Yes.
So thus in business with teams and organizations, these three are very
Absolutely.
powerful elements of
Yeah.
what you did, no?
Yes.
Okay, but I'd like to ask you a bit more about that. Maybe you can tell me a bit more where you have real cases of that, no?
Oh, yeah, lots.
In the meanwhile, let's go back to clap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we could stand up, if that's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I stand up too? Because I don't want to be a sitting audience. I'm
If
kind
you
of
want to, yeah,
You're
go ahead.
very
Can be a
welcome
standing
to
audience,
stand
yeah.
as well.
So, and then if we could just get a, so Paul and I will do, I guess, this direction,
Yeah,
right?
you just be yourself.
Okay.
He'll take care.
And,
no,
so-
I think you focus here.
Okay. So
He'll
if,
take care of you, yeah.
that's the audience right there. Yeah.
All
So
right,
if
okay.
we could get a suggestion then of a location, from you, where would this
yes,
take place?
yes.
Yeah. Any location.
Divisoria.
Divisoria.
Divisoria, downtown Manila.
Oh, downtown Manila. Downtown Manila.
Downtown
Okay.
Manila.
Sounds good to you.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Wow, that looks delicious.
Hey, thanks, boss. That you haven't complimented me in a long time.
I know. We've been so busy with the customers and the service has been so poor, but the food is looking better.
You know what? Actually, this one, if you don't notice, it has your name on it. Roger Williamson.
Roger Williamson.
Yeah.
That must take a lot of skill to inscribe that into an omelette.
Well, here, I'll put it on this plate for you, Roger. There you go. Oh,
No, do you?
oh, thank you.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
You've
there
been
we
standing
go.
there the whole time.
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
okay.
This is my brother here. His name is Rory.
Hi, Rory.
Hello, Roger. How are you?
Good to meet you.
Pleasure here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it now.
And
Yeah.
this omelet right here also has Rory's name. I'm hoping that Rory could be a future employee of our company.
Well, signature omelettes are going to be the next big thing. There's no doubt
Signature
about
I
that.
like
Next
it.
big thing,
Rory
Rory.
omelets.
Rory
Rory
omelets.
omelette.
Rory the omelette.
I'll tell you though, I don't need an omelet with my name on it. Service to the people.
Service to people. How would you describe your character? You humble,
Humble, generous,
generous,
and a good chef.
fantastic chef, award-winning. Yeah. Well, I would describe your character as keen to learn, not necessarily so humble. I think you've got certificates
That's right. Let
on
me
the
just put
wall
this
there of pride.
well, this is right. This is my pride certificate here. Yeah, and this one here is my certificate for narcissism. Right here.
Narcissism, yeah.
Yes, this is my previous boss gave me, and I want to thank you for taking someone with such a big ego into your beautiful omelet shop.
Into the omelette emporium.
In the Omelet Emporium, sometimes
Yeah.
I forget the name of our own
Yeah.
shop. Rory, this is why I think that you would be a much better cook than I would.
Oh, would you like me to? I was thinking of chopping up some onions.
Sure,
Yeah.
and you can use your hand to chop too as well.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is why Rory.
Tell him rule number one of the establishment.
Rule number one of the establishment is you must always sign the names of the customers.
Oh,
New
okay.
Rule
choice.
number one of the establishment is you must never look the customers in the eye.
New
Rule number
choice.
one of the establishment is that you must bring your child to work on the first day of work.
Exactly.
Yes,
We're
and-
looking forward to that child
And
arriving
actually,
for
we have
day one of work.
It's good that Rory brought his child here today. You must have known that this was going to be a special day for you.
That's baby Rory. May I have baby Rory?
Sure,
Thank
please
you very
don't put him
much,
on the
you know.
burner.
New choice of the name. That's baby
William.
William. New
Baby
choice.
William, yes. He's pretty handsome.
New choice of name.
John?
Yes,
John?
baby John.
John's good. Okay.
Yes.
John. Yeah, baby John. Right.
And I see that you brought your child here too.
I did. This is my daughter Tabitha.
New choice.
Tabitha.
My daughter Emma.
New choice.
My cousin Philip.
New choice.
My uncle Eric.
New choice.
My father.
Your father.
Yes.
It's so short. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He's very small.
Yeah, he's
but,
the one who
very
started
generous.
the
Very
omelet-
generous. He did.
The Omelet Emporium. Well,
Yes.
It's. Do you mind if I rub your head?
So,
Do you mind if I pat you on the head?
New choice.
Do you mind if I give you a hug?
He likes that.
Do you mind if I shake your hand and give you this omelet with your name on it?
End
scene.
scene. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining. You didn't know you were going to play.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Exactly.
You need to pull that in a bit. Yeah. Gosh.
Being uncomfortable with the not knowing.
I still have no idea what I did there. I mean, it was amazing. But yes, I was participating.
You were.
Sometimes, like, if you do a good scene and we've never done a scene together before. Like,
Me,
so that was very exciting.
I don't know you from Adam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you create these characters out of nothing, every now and then, like, maybe a week later or a couple weeks later, I'll think, I wonder how Rory is. You know, like, you create these worlds, and you create these characters, and I'll sometimes think, I created that world, and where is that character now? What happened to that character?
Right.
Where are they going? Where's their baby? Where's their father?
Omelette Emporium. That sounds fabulous.
I would like to go there.
It's a proper business idea now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that people find is that it prompts their creativity.
Yeah.
They become more innovative.
Yeah.
And they often think that they're not. But there's creativity in all of us. And as Jeff was saying before, it tends to get a little bit drawn out of us when we're growing up or in school. And improvisation can bring it back.
Well, what is it that we did here? I mean, what was the stretch? What did we draw out of our own selves in terms of applications to life, to business applications? Paul, what did we do when we did the Omelette Emporium?
Well, we all took a risk of looking silly, and we rewarded with...
I thought that looked stupid, not silly, okay?
we rewarded with the buzz of the excitement and of the adventure.
Yeah.
We found some creativity that we shared.
Yeah.
Maybe it was entertaining for an audience.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
not.
not.
I probably have to go there. Now, when you do this, I mean, do you sense how the audience is taking it, or how the market is taking it in our language? No?
Yes.
Would you have an idea of how it was taken, how it was accepted?
Yes. You're creating a product in real time, and you can sense the audience's interest, their laughter, their applause, their willingness to join in.
Because it's live.
It's instant feedback with a live audience all the time.
So you know from the energy, the response, the cheering that's going on.
Yes.
Or also sometimes, we're we shouldn't be afraid of silence as well too, because silence means that they're paying attention as well.
Yes.
Too.
Or like exploring.
They could be listening very intently.
Exactly.
It doesn't even always have to be funny.
Yeah.
It can be moving, sad, tragic. The whole range of drama is available to you.
It just should be real. It should feel real. It should feel like these characters are real. You know, and this world that we're creating is real.
Right. Now, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. You know, so when there was a father who was small, was that real? Remember, there's a time that the baby became the father. And then you said it's a small father.
Yes.
I remember that scene. No? So how was that real?
Well, that's a special skill that Jeff has. So if something's arrived on stage and there's a strange attribute to it, like that's the father, he has to justify that. And his justification was that this was a very small father. So he retained the reality of the scene. That's an advanced skill he was showing.
What does that mean? I mean, how does that play out on stage or on the stage of life?
Say some more.
The justification, quote unquote,
Well, on stage, so it's like, you know, the person was here, was here at this height. So like when you said new choice, who is this name, they were always remain at this height. So just you have to justify. You have to give a reason, like why are they here?
Wait, I think maybe I have an answer to my question. You said the first thing was to make your partner look good.
Yes.
Remember one of the first principles. So this was probably didn't build the fact that it was almost unreal.
Yes.
And then the justification is making it real and
so I'm still looking okay
backing out, looking after your partner.
It's a good example of that.
And business application, Paul?
Business application of making people look good. So
your partners look good.
You're going for a sales call with your colleague.
Yeah.
The two of you are in the meeting,
right.
and your colleague says something that you know is not quite right.
Right.
You don't go, oh, there you go, making a mistake again in front of the client.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right. So it's support.
You say-
It's support.
Supporting.
Yeah. It's
Well,
backup.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's backup. He says, yeah, that is one of the things we can offer. And,
Yeah.
of course, more recently, we've got this new thing that we offer as well.
Wow.
So you use exactly the same idea of keeping your partner looking
Yeah,
good.
you would never say in front of.
Oh,
you
you
know, like,
never
that's a
make your
stupid
partner
idea.
look bad
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
look terrible.
Yeah.
A good lesson in business, too.
So I'm amazed. I mean, there is so much more to this. You know? So much more to this. So can you, Paul, help me out and give me a structure to business applications of the whole philosophy of the science?
Yes.
Can you take? Yeah.
Well, as we've both said, our interest was first in the theatre.
Right.
And then I started teaching workshops to people who were not actors, but
Yeah.
who really liked learning the techniques and the games.
Right.
And they said, well, we can use this in our organisation.
Yeah.
It will help my boss to get on better with the staff. It will
Right.
help us to get on better as a team.
Yeah.
So we co-founded. I was a co-founder of the Applied Improvisation Network.
Right.
About
How many years ago was this?
11 years ago. And it's grown over that time into an organisation with more than 2,500 practitioners. It's the largest arts in business organisation in the world. And these are all
Arts
people...
organization?
It's arts in business.
Okay.
So organisations that take art into
Right. A
business,
creative discipline.
field,
Yeah.
creative disciplines.
Yeah.
And it's worldwide with conferences, websites, and local and regional meetings, such as we've had here in Manila.
Yeah.
And these are practitioners who love the improvisational energy and the spirit and the yes-and attitude.
Yeah.
And they take those skills into communities, prisons, hospitals, social services, and businesses.
So do you know of any known businesses that are using it and what has been their outcome? Any case study and best practice applying improv, the skills of improv?
Well, there are many case studies now because with the thousands of people doing it,
Yeah.
they've all got their
Little one,
their
yeah.
stream of work. So I worked with the Tate Modern Gallery
Modern.
and Tate Britain,
Yeah, okay.
these famous art galleries in the UK, and we worked using improvisation to bond the teams closer together and for them to discuss strategy of their department or of their team in a more constructive way. And this has very good results. They get on better, they enjoy their work more, they have improved relationships, and creativity comes out. Because if people are saying yes and, there's a big difference in what happens to somebody's ideas.
Yeah.
So if I have an idea for a small change, just a small change in the department, and I say to you, how about this? And I get, no, that's a terrible idea, or we tried it before and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come up with any more ideas.
Right,
So
right.
the ideas are suppressed. But if I'm hearing a yes and of, well, that's an interesting idea, or why don't we think about that, or why don't we see how that might build with other things we're doing, then people will be more forthcoming with their ideas. So the culture can shift through application of yes-anding and other improvisational techniques.
So how do you facilitate the learning? How do you transfer the principles, the essence, and the skills of improv to a new group who's never experienced it? What is your strategy for doing it? What is your method?
My method is to go very gently, because
Yeah.
people are a little bit fearful or nervous about doing improvisation.
Yeah.
So we'll do very gentle activities. People almost don't realize they're doing them. And then I'll ask them, how was the experience?
Right.
And they'll usually say, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
We laughed.
Yeah.
I say, what does that tell you? And I say, well, that it's okay to do that, or I'm all right to take a small risk in this
Right.
kind of safe setting.
Right.
And then we'll ask how that can apply.
Yeah.
So there's a sequence of asking, what was the experience? So what? What does it mean? And now what? What are you going to do with it?
Right. So
what? So what? Now what?
That's the processing
It's
method.
it's a processing method. There are many others. Yes.
Right. So how long does it take? A day, half a day, 1 day until they start living
Yeah.
and applying it?
People can get it really quickly, the yes and start using that straight away. If you want to learn more skills or explore the ideas of how this connects to complexity and change, which is a whole other field, then you can spend a lot more time. Half of the top business schools around the world, in the Financial Times top 20 business schools, more than half of them are using improvisation now in some way to teach the MBAs. And,
Any teaching,
executive
any
learning.
sort of teaching, actually, you know?
I think,
Yeah.
you know, with you said how long does it take for people to get it? I think that there's naturally we're improvisers inside of us, because you know I have a friend, actually he's
What is
conference,
it?
he would say that life is improv. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, which is true. I mean, you can only plan so much, and when you realize, oh, wait a second, this conversation is improvised. We didn't plan.
This is. Thankfully, yeah.
You had some ideas, maybe have some questions, and maybe some ideas of where this was going to go, but
we didn't even know if we could stand up.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
We had a structure. We know that it's going to take a certain amount of time, and that we'll take turns talking. But within that, there's an enormous amount of freedom. Yeah. And improvisation is this interplay between structures and freedom. Jazz musicians improvise.
Yeah.
They know what song they're playing, but then they'll start to mess around with it, take a solo, respond to each other, go way out on a stretch, and then maybe come back to the shape at the end.
And once you start surrounding yourself with people who have this yes and attitude towards life, or just the way that they conduct themselves, and you just really get a sense. You just feel safe, you sometimes, I think I said maybe to you or one of you, when you meet someone who's done improv for a while, you can almost tell within a minute that even if they don't tell you if they've done improv, just because they have such this yes and attitude.
So great, you met me yesterday. I mean, that was the first time we met, no? Were you able to tell that I've not done improv?
Well, you were, because you're so like.
Very open.
Yeah, but you're also centered.
Yes.
like a lot of improvisers, like, if done improv on stage, would be like really kind of out there. Wouldn't be as when you were talking about presence.
When you say centered, did you mean closed?
No, I didn't mean closed. I mean that. No.
Nice balance and an energy of listening
this
carefully.
Kind of like calm energy.
Well, I sensed that amongst others I met. By the way, I attended a workshop yesterday with them. It was called an open space improv workshop, and there's about 3 dozens of people like Paul and Jeff out there. And I did sense with some of them that, yes, there was a certain openness, gameness, trustfulness amongst others. Is that what you're mentioning? Is that what you're stating?
Yeah.
No? Great. Hey, you teach culture. Now, you live in a country that is not your culture.
That's right.
Right? You live in China, and you were born and raised in Virginia. You're a Virginian gentleman. No?
Yes.
Gentleman, yeah. You're
Allegedly.
one of those nice Virginian gentlemen. So how are you doing in terms of adapting or mixing or blending or immersing yourself in a brand new culture and still using the life of an improv artist?
One of the things I do in Beijing is I also join 2 separate improv groups that are actually connected. Beijing Improv, an English group, and then a bilingual group. And one of the things that I love about these groups is that it creates a kind of community in Beijing, this huge city. But Beijing feels like a small place to me because the improv community is very tight, and we have workshops that are bilingual, and there are always new people coming in, and people who have never seen improv before every time, every single week, and just the way it opens people's eyes, like, it makes me feel like I'm part of Beijing. It makes me feel like I'm part of the community there.
Right.
So there's that. That's not my job, but part of my job is I work as a guide, and I use improv and kind of acting in roles through my guiding as well.
So you're immersing and adapting and blending and using that. Okay, last question about improv, then we go to solutions focus and we do a wrap. No? The last question is, how do you make me learn the yes and attitude? Is there a rapid way to do that here on stage? I mean, you spoke about yes and many times, but we didn't kind of explain what yes and really means. No? So is there a way that you say, this is yes and?
You can give people many experiences of it.
No, here, can you?
Do that here and now.
I'm a novice. I have no idea what yes and is. Though I do, but so how would you put it across in a matter of minutes? Is there a way?
We could do another demonstration, for example. There's just a game that you can play that's called yes and.
Okay,
right? So,
I'm ready. 3 minutes?
Sure.
5. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
3.
Yeah, then we can do it quicker. So, I think we should go to the park today.
Yes, and we can take the dog for some exercise.
Yes, and we can also take the cat for some exercise.
Yes, and the dog and the cat can fight, and we can watch them.
Yes, and when we're watching them fight, other people will come watching, and they'll start to gamble to see which one of them will win.
And we could take a percentage of the gambling as a rake-off for us.
Yes, and then we'll open up a gambling center in the center of the park, and all the people will gather every Sunday or Monday to watch us have our animals fight.
Yes, and we'll become known as the Dogs and Cats Gambling Center.
Yes, and people will bring their animals there, and when they bring their animals there, the community will come and gather, and they'll watch their own animals fight there as well.
Yes, and that will be sensational.
Yes.
End of scene? End of scene? Is that how you close the scene?
Yeah, well,
End of scene.
We
it's
just
not a
know.
scene, it's just a
So I get how yes and is done. No? So the opposite of yes and is
no but.
No but.
no
Yeah.
B-U-T. No B.
B-U-T.
One of the exercises you can do also is we often teach like trying to build something together, but saying no but. So like teaching the wrong way and seeing how that feels in comparison.
Oh,
to
reverse
teaching-
psychology.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. I think so. Maybe I have a little handle on improv, and maybe my audience also has something of it. But the good thing is that they can rewind the video and watch it all over again. I can. No? Now, maybe you want to close by telling us what you do with Solutions Focus and a little bit about the improv festival that happened, and then we'll call it a wrap. So, Solutions Focus, your business, Paul?
Yes, so I'm a partner in a business called The Solutions Focus, which uses the technique that's called Solutions Focus as a method of change for people, individuals, for teams, or for organizations. And it's very improvisational. In Solutions Focus, you look at the future that you want to have. That's your starting point in relation to any topic. And then you look at how you're already moving towards it in some way, with some successes, some experiences, some skills or resources. And then you take a small step towards it. Mm-hmm. And this is very improvisational because you don't have the full
Just
plan
like you mentioned,
of how you're going to get
slowly,
there.
yeah.
You start with a step, you see what happens, you adjust and you respond, and you're doing it in the direction that you've set
Oh, so total agility towards
a given
towards
direction.
positive progress.
Yes, and you look at what's working rather than what's gone wrong, and you look at what you've got, your resources, rather than what you haven't got. And you can define improvisation as making best use of resources.
Any successes in the Philippines? Are you doing any work in Philippines yet?
We just introduced it with one lecture fully booked
Yeah.
a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And whether it's spread very fast since then, I don't know yet.
All right. So good luck with it. No,
Thank
good
you.
luck with it. You want to tell us about the festival?
Yeah, this festival. So we've been lucky enough to have been invited to join the Manila Improv Festival by Spit. That's Silly People's Improv Theater.
It is silly, yeah.
Yeah, and this group is so great, and they've invited us, groups from Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo,
Right.
all over
Xiamen.
Xiamen, yeah,
Xiamen.
yeah, all over Asia, and they've joined our festival, and we're joining their festival for the second time, and they're just such a gracious group. So like each night there'll be, like for example, last night there were shows with 3 different groups, and there'll be shows with 6 groups, and each group kind of having their own different kind of flavor and everything. So.
Right. The first part of the festival was the Applied Improvisation
Yeah,
mini-conference.
which I missed.
We had 2 days of
Yeah.
people sharing what they're doing with Applied Improvisation. So there are people doing it here in the Philippines already, and they can be contacted through Spit.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for being on Expat Insights and sharing your improv wisdom.
Thank you.
And for those
you.
exercises, and I hope my audience loved it. We'll know very soon about it. Good luck in your journeys.
Thank you. I'm going to the Omelet Emporium.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Bacon and eggs for me on the
Sounds
side.
good.
Bacon on the side, yeah.
It's,
For you?
It's delicious, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
the
looking
orange
forward
juice,
to it
With
the orange juice and a little bit of
Have you tried dalandan?
sliced pineapple.
Oh, you should try dalandan.
Okay.
Dalandan is a local version of the orange, and it's a great juice. So I welcome you to it.
Awesome.
So I hope you have more fun in the Philippines. Good line. How do you close the session?
We
Good night,
actually put our
mabuhay.
hands, we put our
Salam.
hands together and we always say yes. So 1, 2, 3, say
Yes!
Yep.
Thank you very much for being on Expat Insight. So ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, that was Paul Z. Jackson of the Applied Improvisation Network, and of course of Solutions Focus, and Jeff Schwab of Hutung.
Yep.
Hutung, China. Thank you for watching Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Good night, mabuhay, and have a great weekend.